Today, we're counting down the top 5 neighborhoods across Greater Seattle, including the city and its surrounding suburbs, for a serious cocktail night game plan. And the neighborhood that takes number 1 may not be the one casual visitors guess first. For this countdown, we're focusing on the places where the cocktail scene feels strongest as a full neighborhood experience, not just one standout bar. That means we're looking at how easily you can move between lounges, restaurants, hotel bars, late-night rooms, music-adjacent stops, historic spaces, and dinner plans without the evening feeling disconnected. Seattle has plenty of individual cocktail destinations scattered around the region, but the neighborhoods that rise to the top are the ones where the setting, street layout, transit access, and nearby dining all work together. So let's start at number 5 and work our way toward the neighborhood that sets the pace for Seattle cocktail nights. Number 5 is downtown Seattle. Downtown earns its spot because it brings together polished hotel lounges, classic cocktail stops, waterfront access, theaters, retail, and dinner plans in one compact central district. It is Seattle's central business district, and compared with many major city centers, it is fairly easy to navigate on foot once you are already there. Walk Score gives downtown a 99 in 2026, which lines up with the way a cocktail night can move from a lobby bar to a restaurant to a show without needing to reset the whole evening. The vibe here leans metropolitan. Glass towers, historic corners, water views nearby, and a steady mix of visitors, office traffic, and pre-event energy. What keeps downtown at number 5, rather than higher, is that the cocktail experience can feel a little spread across different pockets. You might be near the waterfront for one drink, closer to the retail core for another, or tucked into a hotel lounge before a theater booking. That can be a strength if you want the night to feel more polished and planned, especially around concerts, dinner reservations, or a waterfront walk. But compared with Seattle's densest nightlife corridors, downtown's cocktail personality is a bit more formal, a bit more hotel-driven, and a little less concentrated street by street. Still, downtown is one of the easiest places in the region to build a full evening around cocktails. You can start early, keep the plan flexible, and make use of transit or walking routes without the neighborhood working against you. For people who like a drink before a show, a nightcap after dinner, or a lounge setting with skyline energy, downtown absolutely belongs in the top 5. It is the most central pick in the countdown, and it sets the baseline for what a strong Seattle cocktail neighborhood needs to deliver. Number 4 is Pioneer Square. Pioneer Square brings a completely different mood to the cocktail scene. Brick buildings, historic storefronts, old Seattle texture, and bars that can feel tucked into the architecture rather than placed on top of it. This neighborhood sits in the southwest corner of downtown, and it was once the heart of the city, with Seattle's founders settling there in 1852 after a short stay at Elk Point. That history matters for cocktail nights because atmosphere is a huge part of the experience here. Walk Score gives Pioneer Square a 97 in 2026, so it also has the practical advantage of being easy to move through before games, shows, dinner, or a second round nearby. The reason Pioneer Square lands so high is the setting. Cocktail bars here can feel especially grounded in place, with historic brick spaces and a street grid that works well for a focused night out. It is one of Seattle's strongest neighborhoods for pairing drinks with something else: a stadium event, a gallery stop, a dinner reservation, or a walk through one of the city's oldest commercial districts. When the lighting hits the brick and the neighborhood starts to shift into evening mode, Pioneer Square has a mood that few Seattle areas can copy. At the same time, Pioneer Square's cocktail scene is more atmospheric than sprawling. It does not have the same volume of late-night blocks as the neighborhoods closer to the top, but what it offers is memorable and distinct. It is a strong choice when you want the night to feel anchored in Seattle history rather than just nightlife density. For that reason, Pioneer Square takes number 4. A historic, transit-friendly cocktail zone with character built into the walls. Number 3 is Ballard. Ballard moves the countdown out of the downtown core and into northwest Seattle, where the cocktail scene feels more neighborhood-based and restaurant-connected. Ballard was once an independent city, and it still has a strong identity of its own, with a layout that supports bar hopping, dinner plans, and a more self-contained night out. The reason it ranks this high is its combination of creative cocktail spots, distillery-adjacent options, and plenty of restaurants for before or after drinks. Walk score gives Ballard an 83 in 2026, which is lower than the downtown picks, but still supports a night centered around its main commercial streets. What makes Ballard especially strong is that cocktails do not feel like an add-on here. The neighborhood has enough food, drink, and late evening energy to make the bar scene part of a larger route. You can build a night around dinner, move into a craft cocktail stop, and keep the evening going without needing to head back toward downtown. That gives Ballard a different kind of appeal. Less high-rise polish, more brick, storefronts, patios, restaurants, and neighborhood rhythm. Ballard also stands out because its cocktail identity connects naturally with Seattle's broader maker culture. The distillery-adjacent element gives the area a drinks-focused edge, while the surrounding restaurant scene keeps the night from feeling one note. It is not as transit-dense or late-night intense as the two neighborhoods ahead of it, but it has one of the most complete food and drink ecosystems outside the center of Seattle. At number 3, Ballard is the pick for a cocktail scene that feels creative, walkable in its core, and strongly tied to its own neighborhood identity. Number 2 is Belltown. Belltown comes in just short of the top spot, and for many cocktail fans, this could easily be the first neighborhood that comes to mind. It sits on the city's downtown waterfront, in an area that was artificially flattened as part of a regrading project, and it has long carried a mix of nightlife, arts, restaurants, hotels, and music energy. Belltown's strength is concentration. Destination cocktail rooms, hotel bars, music-adjacent lounges, and late-night options packed into a compact corridor. Walk score gives Belltown a 99 in 2026, which fits the way people actually use the neighborhood for a night out. The cocktail scene in Belltown feels built for movement. You can start with a refined drink, shift towards something louder or more music-connected, grab food, and keep walking, rather than building the whole night around one stop. Its waterfront edge location also gives it a dramatic Seattle backdrop, especially when the evening starts near the water and moves inward toward the busier streets. Belltown has that urban cocktail night rhythm, where the next room, next menu, or next late-night option often feels close by. What makes Belltown so competitive is that it works for multiple versions of the same night. A hotel bar before dinner, a destination cocktail room after a show, a lounge connected to music energy, or a compact crawl with several stops can all happen here. The neighborhood is dense, central, and nightlife-oriented, without relying on just one category of venue. It misses number 1 by a narrow margin, but Belltown is one of Seattle's clearest answers when someone asks where to go for cocktails without over-planning the route. And now, number 1 is Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill takes the top spot because it combines density, late-night energy, acclaimed craft cocktail bars, and some of Seattle's most recognizable nightlife streets into one neighborhood east of downtown and north of First Hill.
The cocktail scene here is not just about individual rooms.
It is about the way Pike Pine, Broadway, and nearby lounges connect into a bigger evening. Walk score gives Capitol Hill a 94 in 2026, and the neighborhood's light rail access and street-level activity make it easy to build a night that moves in stages. It has the strongest overall mix of cocktail focus, late-night momentum, and neighborhood identity in the countdown. Capitol Hill's advantage is depth. You can find polished craft cocktails, louder late-night energy, dinner pairings, quieter lounges, and places that connect naturally with the neighborhood's music and nightlife culture. The Pike Pine corridor gives the area a recognizable spine, while Broadway and the surrounding side streets add more ways to shape the night. That makes Capitol Hill feel less like a single destination and more like a full cocktail district. This is also where the mystery from the beginning pays off. Some visitors expect downtown or Belltown to own the cocktail conversation because they are closer to hotels, waterfront plans, and the core of the city. But Capitol Hill rises above them because the cocktail scene is woven into a larger, late-night environment, not just placed beside it. At number 1, Capitol Hill is the strongest Seattle area neighborhood for cocktail nights. When you want energy, variety, and the ability to keep the evening moving without losing the thread. So, to recap, number 5 is downtown, with polished hotel lounges and central city convenience. Number 4 is Pioneer Square, where historic brick spaces and atmospheric bars give cocktail nights a distinct Seattle backdrop. Number 3 is Ballard, with creative drinks, distillery-adjacent options, and a strong restaurant scene. Number 2 is Belltown, with compact nightlife density and waterfront edge energy. And number 1 is Capitol Hill, where Pike Pine, Broadway, and nearby lounges create the deepest cocktail scene in the countdown. Seattle's cocktail map is bigger than these 5 neighborhoods, and the greater region has plenty of individual spots worth building a night around. But as full neighborhood experiences, these are the places where the setting, walkability, food, nightlife, and cocktail culture come together most clearly. And yes, Capitol Hill at number 1 really does make sense once you think about the whole night, not just the first drink. What did we miss? Which Seattle neighborhood, suburb, or specific cocktail spot would have made your personal top 5? And which one would you have ranked higher? If you enjoyed the countdown, give the video a like and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives. And tell us what you want next. Another nightlife ranking, a restaurant-focused episode, a coffee scene breakdown, or a closer look at one neighborhood in particular.